arriving on Jim's boat, another lot not far behind.
Good evening, Fred.
Good evening, Mrs. Rogers.
Is that the boat?
Yes.
Oh, dear old lady. Well, have you remembered everything?
I think so. Lemon, slip soles, cream, eggs, tomatoes, and butter. That was all, wasn't it?
Well, I think so. I have so much to do, and I don't know where to start. There's no maids till tomorrow, and all these guests are arriving today.
Calm down, Ethel. Everything's ship-shape. Looks fine, doesn't it, Fred?
Looks neat enough to me, but it's kind of bad. But rich folks like it there, it seems.
Rich folks are queer.
Queer sort of gentlemen have built this place. Spent a wicked lot of money on it, he did. Got tired of it, put the whole place up for sale.
Well, it beats me why the Owens wanted to buy it. Living on an island?
Come on, Ethel. Get those things into the kitchen. The guests will be here any minute.
Making that steep climb an excuse for a drink, I suppose, like some others I know.
That'd be young Jim. I'll be giving you along now. There's two gentlemen arriving by car, I understand.
Well, I need 5 loaves in the morning and 8 pints of milk, remember?
Right?
Hey, give him. Don't forget all for the engine, Fred. I'll have to charge us tomorrow, or I'll have the lights running low.
It was held up on the railway. It's at the station now. I'll bring it over first thing tomorrow.
And give him with the luggage with you.
Right.
I forgot to give you the list of guests, Tom.
Think so, girl? Doesn't look a very fancy lot to me. Miss Claythorne. She must be the secretary.
I don't hold much with secretaries. Worse than hospital nurses. And them giving themselves airs and graces and looking down on the servants.
Oh, stop browsing and cut along to that lovely, up-to-date, expensive kitchen of yours.
Too many newfangled gadgets for my fancy.
Oh, this is it. How perfectly lovely.
Miss Claythorne?
You're Rogers?
Yes, good evening, miss.
Good evening, Rogers. Would you bring up my luggage and Captain Lombard's?
Very good, miss.
You've been here before.
No, but I've heard a lot about the place.
From Mr. and Mrs. Owen.
Oh, Johnny Brewer, a pal of mine, had built this house. It's a sad and poignant story.
A love story.
Yes, ma'am, the saddest of all. He was a wealthy old boy. Fell in love with the famous Lily Logan. Married her, bought the island, and built this place for her.
Sounds most romantic.
Yes, poor Johnny. He thought that by cutting her off from the rest of the world, without even a telephone for communication, he could hold her.
But of course the fair Lily tired of her ivory tower and escaped.
Johnny went back to Wall Street, made a few more millions, and the place was sold.
And here we are. When I ought to find Mrs. Owen, the others will be up in a minute.
It would be terribly rude of you to leave me here all by myself.
Would it? Oh. Well, I wonder where she is.
Well, she'll be around when she's ready. While we're waiting, do you think I could have a drink? I'm very dry.
Of course you could.
It's terribly warm after that steep climb. What's yours?
Oh, no thanks, not for me, not on duty.
Good secretary's never off duty.
Oh, really? Oh, this is exciting.
What?
Oh, this. The smell of the sea, the gulls, the beach, this lovely house. I'm going to enjoy myself.
Yes, I think you are. I think we both are. Here's to you. You're very lovely.
Where is Mrs. Owen?
Mr. and Miss Owen won't be arriving from London until tomorrow. I thought you knew, miss.
Tomorrow, but...
I have a list. Here's a list of expected guests. You can have it. The second boatload is just arriving.
Thank you. How awful. I say you will be sweet and help me, won't you?
I won't move from your side.
Thank you. It seems silly to have brought only us in the first boat and all the rest in the second.
That was by design, I'm afraid, not accident.
Design? What do you mean?
Well, I suggested to the boatman there was no need to wait, you know, for any more passengers. That and the 5-shilling note soon started up the engine.
You shouldn't have done that.
Well, they're not a very exciting lot, are they?
I thought the young man was rather nice looking.
Callow, definitely callow, and very, very young.
I suppose you think a man in his 30s is more attractive.
I don't think, my dear, I know.
Where's the place you got here?
Good evening. I'm Mrs. Owen's secretary. Mrs. Owen has been detained in London, I'm afraid, and won't won't be down until tomorrow.
Too bad.
May I introduce Captain Lombard, Mr.
Marston, Anthony Marston.
Austin, have a drink?
Oh, thank you.
What will you have? Sherry, gin, whiskey?
Whiskey, I think.
Wonderful place you have here.
I'm Mrs. Owen's secretary. Mrs. Owen has been detained in London, I'm afraid, and won't be down until tomorrow.
Say when.
Oh, is it?
How are you?
Oh, hello. My name's Lombard. Have a drink, Mr.
Davis. Davis is the name.
Mr. Davis, Mr. Moss.
How are you, Mr. Markinson? Pleased to meet you. Thanks, Mr. Lombard. Don't mind if I do. It's a bit of a steep climb up here. Oh, but what a view, what a hike. Reminds me of South Africa, it does.
Does it? What part?
Oh, Natal, Durban, you know.
Really?
Yeah, here's the certificate. Do you know South Africa?
Me? No, no.
Finest country in the world, sir. Gold, silver, diamonds, oranges, anything a man could want. Talk about a land flowing with beer and skill.
How do you do?
General Mackenzie, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I'm Mrs. Owen's secretary. Mrs. Owen has been detained in London, I'm afraid, and won't be down until tomorrow. May I introduce Captain Lombard, Mr. Marston, and Mr.
Davis. Davis is the name.
Whiskey and water, sir?
Yes, please. Were you in the military?
Formerly, the King's African Rifles. Too tame for me in peacetime. I chucked it.
Is it? When?
Where is Mrs. Owen?
Miss Brent, isn't it? I'm Mrs. Owen's secretary. Mrs. Owen has been detained in London, I'm afraid, and won't be down until tomorrow.
Indeed. Extraordinary. She missed the train.
I expect so. Won't you have something? May I introduce Captain Lombard, General Mackenzie, Mr. Marston, and Mr.
Davis. Davis is the name. May I take your case?
No, thank you.
Do let me get you a drink. Dry martini, a glass of sherry, a whiskey and water.
I never touch alcohol.
Never touched alcohol.
I suppose you know, young man, who left us standing there on the wharf.
I'm afraid, Miss Brent, I was to blame for that. You see, I wanted to...
It seems to me most extraordinary that Mrs. Owen should not be here to receive her guests.
Perhaps she's the kind of person who just can't help missing trains.
I reckon that's what she is.
Not at all. Mrs. Owen isn't the least like that.
Perhaps it was her husband's fault.
She hasn't got a husband. I should like to go to my room.
Of course. I'll take you there.
You'll find Mrs. Rogers upstairs. She'll show you to the room.
There's another guest supposed to be arriving. Somebody coming along? Oh, there you are. I'm afraid that our host and hostess have not arrived. My name's Lombard.
Mine's Ordway. How do you do?
How do you do? Have a drink?
Yes, please, a whiskey.
How are you? Davis. Davis is the name. Wonderful place you've got here. Quite unique.
As you say, quite unique.
Your drink, sir.
Badger Berkeley rolled up yet?
Who do you say?
Badger Berkeley. He wrote me into this show. When's he coming?
Well, I don't think he is coming. Nobody of the name of Berkeley.
Dirty old double-crosser. He's let me down. Well, it's a pretty wizard island, and got a wizard girl there, that secretary. She ought to liven things up a bit. Say, old man, how about dressing for dinner at this time?
Let's go and explore.
Wizard idea.
Things a bit at 6s and 7s, with the Owens not turning up.
Ricky, what?
Oh, yes, more.
Place for
Aren't you going to sit down?
Well, to tell you the truth, you're sitting in my chair.
Oh, I am terribly sorry. I didn't realize you were one of the family.
Well, it's not that exactly. To tell you the truth, I've never been here before. But I've lived in the Benton Club for the past 10 years, My chair sits right there, and I can't seem to sit anywhere else.
Oh, then it does become a bit of a habit.
Yes, it does. Thank you. Not quite as good as the club's, but it's a nice chair. To tell you the truth, I was rather surprised to get this invitation. Haven't had anything of the sort for 4 years. Very nice of them, I thought.
Can I have your keys, sir?
Oh, yeah, yes. Oh, can you tell me, is Lady Constance coming to the right yet?
Lady Constance Comington. I don't think so, sir, unless she's coming with Mr. and Miss Owen. Can I have your keys, sir?
Oh, no thanks, I'll unpack myself.
Dinner is at 8 o'clock. Shall I show you to the room?
Please.
Here you are, sir. I'll call Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, how are you? Davis. Davis is the name.
Oh, mine's Armstrong.
Dr. Armstrong, I believe.
Yes.
I thought so. I never forget a face.
Oh, don't tell me I've forgotten one of my patients.
No, nothing like that. But I once saw you give expert evidence in court.
Oh, really? Are you interested in the law?
Well, you see, I'm from South Africa, by the way of the United States, born and bred, and naturally the legal processes in this country interest me.
I see, of course.
Have a drink?
No thanks. I never touch it.
Mind if I do? Mine's empty.
Not a bit.
I've been having a look around this island. It's a wonderful place.
Wonderful. I thought as I was coming across the mainland, what a haven of peace it was.
Too peaceful for some, I dare say.
Wonderful.